then we followed you up for 5 years, and then we signed you off. How did you feel when you were signed off after 5 years surveillance
Yeah,
that you're clear?
that was really interesting because when I had my stoma reversal, which was September 17, I remember panicking, thinking, what do I do? What happens if I get any more symptoms? And I saw colorectal nurse, Julie, and she said to me, right, this is your 5-year plan. We're going to do colonoscopies. We're going to do blood tests for the next 5 years. And that appointment was so important because it made such a difference to me because the anxiety and the fear of the bowel cancer returning was kind of eliminated during that appointment because I thought that's great. I don't need to worry about it coming back because if it does, I've got this backup and I know that it's going to be caught early, and so I won't have to worry. And thankfully, it didn't return, but it was so important to be reassured. And so after that appointment, I was able just to get on with my life.
Um, we also had CT scans as well
Yeah.
after. Um, were you working in the hospital before your cancer diagnosis, or you changed it that?
When I was actually diagnosed, I was a carer in the community,
Right.
and so during my treatment of the treatment diagnosis, and after my surgery, I was just so impressed with the care and the treatment that I received, and I thought I would just love to work at the hospital. And to cut a long story short, um, there was a vacancy for ward clerk, and I applied. And at that time, I was having treatment, and I had the PIC line, and I had this little bottle attached with I don't know chemotherapy fluid, and I was successful, and I was just so pleased to have got the job. And um, the fact that I was having cancer treatment didn't matter during my interview for the job, so that was great.
Uh, it's 9 years now. How does it feel that for you as a cancer survivor, especially you work in a hospital and you work in a surgical ward and you see patients cancer who have started their journey? Do you share your story with them when you can?
Yeah, I do. There was a patient on 7A who he wasn't too happy about having a stoma, and he was quite anxious. And I would help anybody because sharing experience actually is good because then people realise that they're not alone on their bowel cancer journey, and I think that's really important. Um, so I had a chat with the patient and shared my experience and shared it in a kind of a light-hearted way because without going into detail, people affectionately give their stoma a name, sort of thing, and I was just sharing that kind of information and also sharing my experience, and the patient really appreciated it. And I've also been involved in various organisations where I've been able to share my experience and help others, and I'll continue to do so because I think it's so important for bowel cancer and any cancer patient to know that they're not alone, and there's people that can help and support them by sharing experience.
Jackie, thank you very much for sharing this experience with us. I'm sure that would be very useful for patients and public to hear your story, and I'm delighted to see you 9 years free of cancer.
Thank you, Nada. I also want to thank you, Nada, for the care and the support and the expertise um, of yours that enabled me to have a successful bowel cancer journey, and with your team and all the staff at Yo Hospital. But thank you so much, Nada. I'll be forever grateful for you saving my life.
A
Thank you,
pleasure.
Nada.